Hi Aquarius and Aquarius rising, welcome to your reading for Pluto's shift into your sign, Aquarius. So I've got some cards here, some decks I'm going to use to pull a few cards shortly, but I just wanted to kind of go through a little overview of the energies that we're dealing with here. So again, as I say, it's for Aquarius and Aquarius rising. There is a link in the description box if you want to generate your own birth chart. We're going to get into it. So with Pluto, as you probably already know, Pluto is an energy of transformation, change, power. There's connections to power as well. What Pluto's energy does, it breaks things down. It goes beneath the surface. It strips everything back so that we can identify where change is needed or where we need to let go of things. We can then purge, regenerate. We can hopefully get our power back by the end of it. So when Pluto was in Capricorn, which it was for the last 16 years, it would have shown us where there's a misuse or abuse of power. And that could be just in our lives personally, or at work or wherever, different areas of our lives. And it's definitely shown us that in the world as well, and still is doing that. It's shown us the shadow side of finance systems, authority figures, government, patriarchal structures, because Capricorn is related to father, patriarchal energy. And obviously we can see that in the world, and you may have had experiences with the father or father figures in your life as well, where there's needed to be transformation or imbalances in power as well. With Pluto, it being in Capricorn, it's kind of shown us where transformation is needed, anywhere that there's inequity with power and resources in general. So with Aquarius now, Pluto is in Aquarius for the next 20 years. Aquarius, as you probably already know, as an Aquarian or Aquarius rising, it's a progressive energy, progressive and liberating energy. So Aquarius wants liberation, equality, freedom for everybody. With Pluto being there, Pluto shows us where we've been disempowered or where we are disempowered and how to get that power back, or where to get that power back. Aquarius energy, it shows us, it kind of pushes the boundaries of possibility as well. So whatever we think is possible. So technology clearly has pushed the boundaries of what we thought was possible. I mean, how long before we have flying cars like in Back to the Future? Who knows? So technology, it can be in terms of spirituality. I've said it in a few of the readings that I've just done for this theme, that telepathy is something that could become more prominent as well. I can speak from personal experience. Telepathy is real. You don't even have to try, to be frank. And speaking with other people as well. It can happen without you even trying, but that might be more prominent. We may not believe it, but pushing the possibilities. And then in terms of how we relate, as a community and collective, who knows, at some point within the 20 years or at the end of that 20 years, society could be more harmonious. It doesn't look like it right now, but you never know. Anything's possible with Aquarian energy. And it's very humanitarian, isn't it? So you just don't know with that influence over us. Aquarius is also connected to friendship and community. And I can say from things I've observed personally, I can see this happening already, where friendships are going to be tested a lot more. This is where you would start to see the shadow side, the cracks, the red flags in friendships. And you can obviously decide if you're able to repair it, if the friendship or community needs to be transformed, or if you want to let go. That's your choice. For Aquarius and Aquarius rising very specifically, when Pluto was in Capricorn for that 16 years, it was in your 12th house for the 16 years. So with the 12th house, it's connected to Pisces energy. So you may have had experiences with changes, transformation, imbalances, or identifying imbalances in power in relation to your inner self, secrets, the past, your subconscious, mysticism, dreams, transcendence, faith. It sounds weird connecting those kind of themes with Pluto's energy, because transformation aside, that makes sense. But in terms of imbalances in power, it doesn't necessarily sound like it would make sense. But I'm sure Aquarius, you're equipped for that. You'd be able to it would make sense to you, put it that way. So that's the past. And now moving, not to say that you won't take things that you've been through in that last chapter, that last 16 years, into the present and future with you now, because I'm sure you will, as we all will. But now that Pluto is in Aquarius in your sign, it's in your first house, which is Aries energy, which is to do with your self-image. So that's your body, your appearance, your personality, could be your identity, your outlook on life and everything, your abilities, the actions you take, your ambition, what drives you. Your ambitions could completely change. What drives you could completely change. You could have a complete change of career. Your body could change. People could be getting, in this energy, you could end up getting cosmetic surgery or transforming your body in some way. Your identity, you may feel like your whole identity even changes, or your personality changes, your outlook on life. All sorts could happen there. Or as I say, there's the imbalances of power there that might come to the forefront as well. So I think that's enough for the brief overview. And we're going to get into the cards. So I've got Le Vampires here. We're going to first of all, I just want to ask the cards what Aquarius and Aquarius rising need to know as you move forward with Pluto in your sign, in Aquarius, and being in your first house as well. So what do we need to know for Aquarius and Aquarius rising? For Aquarius and Aquarius rising, I'm getting the words as I'm shuffling. Your view of yourself could change. So that refers to the self-image thing. Your whole view of yourself could change. I mean, it is more on the physical side, but it's in how you show up and how other people view you as well. But it's more in connection to how you see yourself or how you want to be seen. So again, that could be physically or just the way you present, personality wise, or yeah, take that as you will, to be honest. Right, okay, that was pretty aggressive, so bear with me, see if I can get this. At least it didn't fly to the other side of the room, because that would have been, I would have had to pause the video to do that. So you've got this, who got this? Was it Capricorn? That's interesting. That is very interesting, because obviously Pluto has shifted from Capricorn into Aquarius, and I believe Pluto was in Capricorn's first house, and they got this message, if I'm remembering correctly, about transmission, spreading of conditions, influence, impact, which is where either others are influencing you and what you do, or you're influential to others. You might be a lot more influential to others over the next 20 years. I mean, you could be reflecting on how others have influenced you. I would say that's something that can come up, but I would say as you move through the 20-year period, you may become even more, even if you're influential now, you may become more influential. And then we've got that death will come, mortal, finite, fragile. So, I mean, the couple of ways that this could go, it could be that that it's an ending to any influence anyone has over you, or in general. And you know, sometimes even if we think, oh no, I just think for myself and I don't get influenced by anyone. You know how these things like to come up where we think we've, say, healed from stuff, and then it's like something comes up and it's like, shit, I already dealt with that. And it's like, no, you haven't. Here's another level. It could be that where you got to a point where you thought, oh no, I'm just completely like liberated and authentic and blah blah blah, and then something comes up and it's like, no, this is still influencing you. This thing, whatever it is, whether it's a person or a system or anything, culture, something, is still influencing you in a way that isn't beneficial to you. That could come up for you, and it can even be to do with your past as well. It doesn't have to be something in the present. It could be something from your past that's influencing you as well. So it could be an end to that. And as I say, that you're going more into a phase where you really know who you are, your identity, you know who you are, and you're not being influenced by that anymore, and then you become more influential to people. There could be a specific relationship here for someone, romantic or non-romantic, where that relationship transforms in terms of who's influential, whether it's that you cut it off altogether, or whoever was previously influential becomes the one who is influenced by the other person. I'm trying to contemplate if I see it as possible that if you are already influential, then you stop being that. Oh, it is possible. It is possible for someone, but I'm thinking more along the lines of you letting go of your influences and becoming more influential. But it could be that that you lose influence over others. With all this talk of influencing, it's making me think specifically, not necessarily, well, it could affect someone who has Aquarius or Aquarius rising in their chart, but I'm thinking of, you know, like figures, celebrities or whatever. Is there another word for celebrity? Just celebrity, isn't it really? Or influencers who are known. It's making me think of them losing influence. And I guess that probably will play out collectively in general. That will play out collectively and in communities and stuff, where the people who once had the greatest influence now, if people, because Aquarian energy is about it is connected to community, but it's you having your own individuality first and then bringing it into the community and being able to differentiate between the two. If people get more into that Aquarius energy and people are able to think for themselves more and be less influenced, then the people that influenced them previously, using that word a lot, I could see people losing followers or just not being able to sway people so much. And that can be in anything from celebrities to actors, musicians, politicians, whoever, anybody who's well known and has influence over people. That could end as we all think for ourselves. And yeah, this is meant to be more along the lines of personal for you, but yeah, I can see that in there. I can kind of see it in there, or even there's a need to break away from that anyway, because I think there are far too many, just as a personal perspective, I think there are too many influences at the very least around, where people need to kind of take a step back and sort of think for yourself rather than going along with certain things or following it, or putting so much putting people on a pedestal. That's what I'm trying to say, isn't it? I think we need to be very careful about putting people on a pedestal, whether it's people in our personal lives or celebrities or whoever. You've got to be very careful of that. So I think that's the main theme that I'm trying to get across here in that very long-winded way. Anyway, right, so the cards we've got are, you've got the Nine of Swords and the Seven of Cups. So yeah, it's becoming clearer. It's about becoming a lot clearer. Okay. You've got the Two of Cups on the bottom of the deck. There's a sense of understanding here in that Two of Cups for me, and it's genuine connections as well. So again, with that whole influencing and impacting things, there will be also changes coming about where you identify what feels like more genuine connections with people, with things that you want. Again, did I use the example? I think I used that example in the Capricorn reading, that concept of, like, you know, with adverts where, say you want the latest pair of trainers, and it's like, do you want the trainers because you actually like them, or because of the influence from adverts, celebrities, whoever, getting into your head and making you think you should want it? So it's more genuine connections, and as I say, understanding. There's more balance in there. Each person has their own cup. They know what's in their own cup. You can even say they know who they are and what they bring to the table. And it's removing that confusion. Obviously, you'd first have to go through a phase of kind of identifying that, and it would make you anxious, feeling confused, wouldn't it? You might even be thinking, do I even know who I am anymore, to be honest? You may go through a phase of wondering, do I know who I am anymore? But I think you will get to the point where that goes through its process, the necessary process, and you see that through. And as I say, you then get to the point where you can make those genuine connections, whether it's with people, situations, desires, things, whatever. So I think that's it. Okay, that is it. That is it, Aquarius. I'm going to leave it there for you because I know I've said quite a lot and probably a lot to take in. So thank you for watching. Again, go to the description box if you need to generate your own birth chart, if you want a personal reading, or if you want to see the daily written tarot and oracle card readings that I do. I'll be back shortly, soon, for the in-depth December readings that are monthly readings as well. And until I see you again, take care.